Hello and welcome to this episode of Carmen's Coaching Corner, and as you can see, I am not alone in the room. I have the lovely Gina Pollard with me today, and I'm really excited for anyone who watches this video, because Gina is a wealth and a fountain of wisdom, and I just love Gina. I love you so much.
Me too. It's usual.
So I'm really excited to introduce you to people that watch my videos.
I'm excited to be here.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for saying yes to my request.
Of course. Of course.
So Gina, I just want you to introduce yourself to who we're talking to today.
Okay.
And how you help people.
So my name is Gina Pollard, and I am a certified grief recovery specialist as well as a certified trauma recovery specialist as well. So my practice consists of walking people through the kinds of trauma and grief that hold us back and keep us stuck so that we can't move forward. I refer to it with my clients as clearing the decks of all the old stuff that's behind so that you can begin to live your best life and the life that fits who you were created to be. So I've been doing it for a number of years. It really started out because I was doing a lot of abuse work. So people who'd had physical, emotional, sexual, narcissistic relationships and neglect trauma. I started doing that and realized that once people got some healing, they didn't know how to move forward from that. And so then I did the work, the research, and the certifications to be able to provide a more holistic, emotional venue for people to feel safe and have honest feedback so that they can move forward.
That's lovely. How long have you been doing this for now?
If we count all the abuse work I did before, probably 10 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, so this has been my life for a long time.
And something that you said about the fact that you would do all the healing with the people that you were seeing and abuse, and then it was like, once you did that, they were kind of going, now what? Because I think with a lot of people who, and maybe I'm wrong here, but because I'm nowhere near an expert in the whole grief recovery that you do, but I think when you've been carrying around trauma for so long, it becomes part of your identity.
It does. Yeah.
And it's kind of like the card that you hold up, the invisible card that you hold up to people, and it becomes who you are, your story, and then you want to go meet when you introduce yourself to somebody, right? Because that's invariably going to be what you might share once you feel comfortable with somebody. And then once you've done all the work to kind of get past the trauma, it's like, okay, well, who am I now?
Right. The other part of that is that if you've been in an abusive relationship or you have dealt with a lot of emotional trauma, people have been telling you who you are the whole time. They've been telling you that you're stupid, that your ideas are no good, that you don't know what you're talking about. I had a significant abuser in my life who told me that I was stupid, fat, and ugly, and I believed that for the longest period of time. So when you hear that and you get a certain amount of healing, it becomes, well, if I'm not who my abuser says I am or I was, who am I now? And I have people who would say to me, I don't even know what my favorite color is, because I'm afraid to make a decision about what my favorite color is for fear that somebody's going to tell me it's wrong.
And that's so true, because when I've been, you know about the Sojourner Centre, the domestic violence
shelter. I know Sojourner.
So in the Phoenix area, there's a domestic violence shelter called Sojourner. And I've been volunteering there on and off, for about, I want to say about 8 years now.
They do amazing work.
They do amazing work for the community that they support. And, you know, I would hear such you couldn't make this shit up if you tried. Right. The stories that you hear from some of the women that have gone through the abuse, and it's so true what you're saying, that they don't know who they are, because it's exactly like you said, they've been told and dictated to the whole time that they've been in that situation. They're not allowed out of the house a lot of the time to go to work because of their partner is so controlling. And it doesn't, I mean, it breaks my heart when I hear women say things like, I don't even know what my favorite color is. Yeah. I don't even know what I'm good at anymore. Right? Because some of these women that I'll never forget it. I went in to do some training on interviewing with confidence, and I asked them, who were you? What did you do before you got into this abusive relationship? And one of them was a university professor an air stewardess. She had a very, they all had really great jobs. And as part of their conditioning during the time of their review, they forgot all of that stuff, and their confidence was just so depleted, and their self-value and their self-worth was so depleted. So it's kind of like when you've gone through the recovery process with somebody like with the work you do, it really is about rebuilding your own identity and really being in alignment with who you want to be.
Right. And who you were created to be. The interesting thing, though, is that I see this even with people without an abuse background. So the transitions coaching part of my practice, I see this a lot with empty nesters or people who are going through a divorce. And when I do workshops and retreats, one of the first things I say to people, and I have them do an exercise, is tell me about who you were before you became a wife, before you became a mother, before you became an executive, and bring something that represents who you were 20, 30 years ago with you so that we can rediscover the things that you liked. Like, I know one person who was a jewelry designer, and it prompted her to get back into jewelry designing because that was what she loved, and it was outside of all of the other roles that she had. So what happens is we get pigeonholed into different labels, and we forget that we're people first. So I love being able to free people up to just go, wait, I'm a woman, or I'm a man, because I have some male artists that have been clients of mine too, and this is who I am outside of what everybody tells me I should be doing.
It's so true. That's such wonderful work that you do. That's such. So is there a way, is there like a text? I always like, during these videos, I always like to have something that the viewers can take away and go to immediately. Is there something, I kind of feel like I'm putting her on the spot right now, but is there something?
I'm used to it. Carmen does this to me all the time.
Is there something that somebody can do if they're going through, give me an example of what somebody might come to you for today?
So in the journal that I wrote a few years back, there are 2 questions in this journal that I love. And so one of the questions is, what are you good at that brings you joy and keeps you refreshed and going? And what are you good at that drains the life out of you? Because we don't have to do all the things that we're good at. Most of us are really good at a number of things. But there are things that we're good at that drain us, and if we've had any life experience, it's like people will go, oh, you're really, really good at that. And you're like, I know, but I hate it.
Right?
You know?
And this makes me think about people who are in jobs that they are excellent at. Like careers that they're brilliant at,
absolutely.
Right? And it's literally depleting their soul.
Yes.
Right? Every time they get out of bed, because they know they're good at it, they could do it with their eyes closed, and yet they have no joy.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And that's kind of sad. Right?
Well, because what happens is we get out of alignment with who we're created to be. I spend a lot of time working on personal mission statements for people. And that involves, at this point in your life, so it's always a living statement, how do you see yourself in relation to what the world needs? What is it that you can provide to the world that is in alignment with who you are at this point? And that changes. Hopefully we're different in our 20s than we are in our 50s. And if not, we need to talk, because you're not challenging yourself enough to do that. But it's also a question of, let's say that you're really good at accounting. That's great. Do you know that there are people who need help in learning how to build a personal budget? There are nonprofits that need your expertise in being able to know how to wisely spend their money or spend their time. Maybe you're good at process. That is so important, because so many of us start doing things and we've not developed a process that makes it scalable and that keeps us true to the vision. So everything that you have, I'm good at making people feel safe and welcome. So that means that I can provide that in my practice, but I can also teach other people how to provide that for their teams. how to provide a very collaborative sort of workspace as opposed to individual contributors that are all off doing their own thing. So it really is a matter of what gets you going. And those skills transfer often from our corporate lives to our to our personal lives and vice versa. Because if you've been in the home for a long time, you forget that your skills actually can transfer into the corporate world as well.
I mean, because if you think about it, somebody who's managing home, kids, all of that stuff, you are multitasking at a high level. I mean, you've got a lot going on. You're planning, you're scheduling, you're organizing, right? You're trying to keep the house, and I suppose you maybe, unless you have somebody clean it for you. I wish I did.
Do it.
Right?
Okay, Carmen, do it.
So, you know, all of those skills are transferable in a work environment.
Yes, they are.
I mean, and they're highly sought after skills as well. So, you know, when I was working with the women at the Sojourner, it's like, okay, you have tons of skills, right? Just because you used to do that and you haven't been doing it for a while doesn't mean you don't know how to do it anymore. It's just a case of just, you know, oiling that muscle and just getting back in the groove of it again. And I love the fact that you do what you do, Gina, because I think so many of us walk around with the trauma, wherever it's come from, and never deal with it in our lives. And that's it. We're kind of like, what do I want to say? We're like a dimmer switch that's dimmed all the way down, rather than a dimmer switch that's all the way up.
Oh, that's a great analogy. And
it's just, it really doesn't have to be that way. I mean, Gina is highly skilled, and you're available. You know, you can do things remote, you can do them in person, and so if you are going through some kind of a trauma that you would really like to get behind you and move forward with your life, just like Gina was explaining, I highly recommend working with somebody like Gina, who's a grief recovery specialist, and so many more things, and just learning to have that compassion for yourself again, right?
Because it accumulates. One of the things that we know about grief is that it's cumulative. And so if you don't deal with something, then the next time something else comes up, it piles on and you lose your sense of resilience. And resilience is what keeps us going. So I work with clients from all walks of life. It's really interesting for me to have therapists that are clients because it's a different kind of work than what the therapists are actually doing. But via FaceTime, Skype, in my office, I have 2 offices here in Phoenix. Then I work with clients, one on the west side and one here in central North Phoenix as well. So go to ginapollard.com, send me a message, or find my Facebook page, my Facebook business page. That's Gina Pollard, and it has a bunch of initials after it, but you'll see me. I'm the woman with the blue and pink hair. So,
So going back to my ask of you, is there one process that you can share with the people that's watching, that if they are going through something right now that's just going to help ease them somewhat?
I've one thought, and that is that everybody's going through something. Don't believe the hype that people are all doing okay, and oh my gosh, get away from the social media feeds, because all you're seeing are highlight reels. You don't see what ends up on the cutting room floor.
So that's your tip: get away from social media for a while.
And follow your own heart.
Follow your own heart. Yes. And listen to it. Your heart has its own brain.
It really does.
It really does. And this is, if you don't believe me, go to the heartmapinstitute.com. There's a whole, there's a whole bunch of information about the heart, and it has its own emotional intelligence. It thinks independently of the brain in your head, because it has its own brain. And it sends more information from your heart to your brain. So I love that you said just follow your own heart, because your heart won't steer you wrong. It really won't. So if you're going through anything and you know that there's something you need to do differently, just tap into what your heart wisdom is. And
reach out to somebody else. One of the things that's beneficial about having a coach or a therapist is that they're an objective third party who's not buying into all the family drama or the drama in your head, and can provide you with a process or a program to move forward.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, so much fun. So much fun.
Funny, because our background's very similar.
Yeah, we both come from project management, corporate backgrounds. Yes. So when we're in meetings, it's really fun because we want to go to the charts and we
document this process.
yes, exactly. We're process people. Yes. Yep.
So that's what we're using on skill for our class.
Yes.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
today,
which is hard work.
Which is awesome to be able to do
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
Once again, thank you so much.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
And as always, if you have any questions or comments about this video, please comment under the video when I post it. And I will include Gina Pollard's information in the verbiage that I usually have with the videos. And if you have any questions or you're looking for a coach to help you move forward in your life, my website is soartlc.com. And as always, in love and light to your transformation and growth, Carmen.
Yeah, and Gina.
To get started, please call or email me or schedule an appointment on my website.